Okay, well, we reviewed the first movie, so now it's on to the second one. Hellbound Hellraiser 2. And I gotta be honest here, I'm not the biggest fan of this one. It's kind of out there, and it's pretty gross.
Oh, come on, dude. Don't make out with that. That's nasty. All her skin is gone and shit. That's Dr. Chenard, the villain of the movie. He's obsessed with the whole Lamet configuration thing and has acquired everything he knows about it, including a picture of this man, Elliot Spencer, a British Army captain who served in the 1920s. Why is this important? Because this is in fact supposed to be Pinhead before he became a Cenobite. This was pretty cool to see because I like that it showed Pinhead's origin a little bit. And it even gives an explanation that all the Cenobites were originally human at one point, and then became what they are because of their goals to find the ultimate pleasures. This movie takes place right after the first movie, and it shows Kirsty being put into an institution because, well, people think she was crazy. I mean, wouldn't you think she's crazy? I would. And it just so happened that it's the Chenard Institute, run by, you guessed it, this asshole. Intrigued by Kirsty's story, Chenard is able to bring the bed that Julia, I guess, was in while she died, and had some patient cut himself, and the blood seeps through the bed, bringing Julia back to life, who looks disgusting. It's one of the grossest things I have ever seen.
And then, once she comes back, she thinks she's the most attractive thing that has ever walked the face of the earth and comes on to the doctor. Hello? You're repulsive to look at. Stop pretending to be something you are not. And you're not attractive. You're disgusting to look at. I know that's mean, but good God, look at this thing. It's
So while at the institution, Kirsty befriends a girl named Tiffany who has a knack for solving puzzles. This is also important because Tiffany is kind of forced by Chenard to open the box, but the Cenobites don't attack her because they know that she was forced to open it. From here on out, Kirsty, Tiffany, Chenard, and Julia all enter the Cenobite realm, which is apparently ruled by a godlike entity called Leviathan. But then, once again, Julia, being a total bitch, sacrifices him to Leviathan, which turns him into a Cenobite.
Don't worry, people. She dies soon enough.
So while in hell, Kirsty runs into Frank, who told her that her father isn't there and that he wrote the message which told her to come here. Hang on a second, let me backtrack a little. So throughout the movie, Kirsty is trying to find and rescue her father because she believed he was trying to contact her, which is pretty much the only reason she went into the Cenobite realm in the first place.
Yeah, the plot gets kind of bizarre and a little complex towards the end of the film, but you know what, let me just finish up and give my quick thoughts on the ending in that.
Okay, here's what happens. Kirsty gets caught by the Cenobites and escapes their torture by reminding them of their former humanity. And then all the Cenobites team up to stop Chenard. All the Cenobites are killed, including Pinhead, but Pinhead's sacrifice allows for Kirsty and Tiffany to escape. But since the Cenobite realm keeps crossing over with the real world, Tiffany decides to go back and try to close the box, which would close the portal. But Chenard shows up, which leads to some pretty funny moments. Oh, would you look at that. He looks like he has a giant dick coming out of the back of his head.
Oh dear. This guy is hilarious. Seriously, he's a riot. I don't know how anybody could possibly take him seriously. He's just, oh my god, he overacts so much. All his lines are just doctor puns. You know what? I love this guy. This guy is awesome.
So while trying to close the portal, Tiffany gets attacked by Chenard, but is saved by Julia, who turns out to be Kirsty wearing her skin. Again, how does that work? So Chenard is defeated, and they escape the portal and finally leave the Institute, and they live happily ever after.
But the franchise doesn't!
So, in a setup to the next movie, two movers are seen moving stuff out of Chenard's treasure room when one of them comes across the bed that Julia came back from and gets sucked in. The other guy comes up the stairs, and this thing called the Pillar of Souls rises from the bed, and then the hobo from the last movie basically says there's going to be a third movie.
So, there you go. That's Hellbound Hellraiser 2. So, what do I think of it?
While it's definitely not the worst Hellraiser movie, it's still not very good. The film is pretty gross, and the plot gets very complicated near the end. The only reason to watch this movie is for the Cenobites, and for the over-the-top, hilarious performance from Chenard. It's definitely not as good as the first movie, but it's still a far cry from the worst in the series. But I still didn't really care for it. Anyways, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth is next, so stay tuned for that, I guess.
Trick us again, child. Your suffering will be legendary, even in hell.